everyone. Thank you for joining us today for What's Your Why Wednesday. I am joined today by the fabulous Rodney Leadingham. He is the marketing director at Namba. Rodney, thank you so much for joining us. Now, in a few moments, we will get into how you came into our wonderful world of mortgage. But before we do that, I believe that everything that we do professionally and personally is tied to our why. So at this time, Rodney, we would love to hear, what is your why?
Yeah, thank you for having me here. So I grew up in a small town in southern West Virginia, as I've mentioned to you before. And to be honest, while my parents were pretty successful, my father had a mental illness, and that centered that pretty much countered most of the success that he had in life because of it. And it's I hate to say it, but it is what it is, right? So while I had all the basics in life, I left to enter the Air Force with literally nothing at the age of 18. Mind you, you really don't need much in the military, right? But at my point, I owned nothing, not a form of transportation, not a household good, not on the money scene, and zilch for education beyond high school. So I took it upon myself to build my career one block at a time, focusing on the things I could control. This included buying my first home at the age of 19, obtaining a bachelor's and a master's degree while working full time. I got married at that age, buying cars, procuring household goods, starting a family. My wife got her degree, and so on and so forth. We've all been through this, right? But this was all done 100% on our own, and lots of loans, of course. But important in my situation is that it included absolutely no help from anyone. Zero. So I know how hard it can be for people in general, let alone when faced with family environment that was substantially less than normal, and further complicated by a dominant male role model that was not the best person. So when you have nothing to start with and we're given nothing, when I say I get it, I really do know how hard it can be to make things happen.
Wow. Wow. Thank you so much for sharing that story. Okay. So now fast forward. Here you are. You're the marketing director at Namba. What brought you into the nonprofit world, and what inspired you to work with Namba?
Sure. So in the early years of my career, like many of us, I was very focused on steering and growing my own path forward. The more I grew my experience, the more opportunities I was handed to prove myself, the more I realized how fortunate I had been and continue to be. When you think about what I just gave you on the background on the why, I was very appreciative of everything that I was able to, given the chance to earn in my career. And then as my career solidified, that inner feeling of both gratitude and emptiness began to grow a bit. And eventually I knew I wanted to give back and do some good to help others, knowing the path I had to take and that so many people out there have to myself. So after 20 years at 2 Fortune 1000 companies, entering stage left was Tony Thompson with the marketing director role that needed to be filled. And here I am.
Wow. Wow. So, well, how did you connect? Like, was it just in terms of he was searching for someone, or?
Yeah, he was, and that kind of gets into the what side of things too.
Yeah.
After I was in the Air Force for 6 years, I finished my bachelor's in accounting and my master's, and by happenstance, I moved into the real estate finance sector as a mortgage loan officer in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. It was a small brokerage firm called First Carolina Mortgage. I'm honestly not even sure if it's still around today or not. I would hope so. It was a good little group. But that's why I was interested in the space. I love numbers, and because I grew up around it, my father happened to be a residential home builder, and my mother, still to this day, is an active realtor.
Look at
So,
that. Wow. So, and I'm really so happy that you're sharing this, because I wasn't aware that you do have a background on the mortgage side. So you understand real estate, you understand the building side, you understand the origination side. So I would think that really, really helps with your role that you're doing at Namba, right?
Absolutely, it does. So really can understand that side of the business pretty well. So, including underwriting, I actually did underwriting for a while as well.
Okay.
So
Awesome.
I understood Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac probably better than I wanted to.
What year was this, Rodney?
That would have been 92 until 99.
Wow, that's quite a bit ago.
Yeah,
Meaning that a lot
wait a minute now.
I meant that in a way of that a lot of changes,
That it has.
since that time. Wow, that's incredible. That is absolutely awesome. Okay, so what are you working on right now at Namba?
Yeah. You know, the excuse me, good grief. Ooh, got a cough there. Yeah, so the things we're working on today, you know, we've got a great mission here at Namba. A lot of the people probably listening to this are part of it in one way, one shape or form or another, whether it's through the visionary program you run. But, you know, we're here to help direct more people into the real estate finance industry. We're trying to help backfill that impending gap, right? Where there's 10,000 roughly people retiring each day in North America, and it's affecting all the industries equally. And then with that goes the fact that we're trying to help balance the scales in those communities we all serve by helping to drive more people of color and females into those roles to backfill them so that things are more balanced in those areas, and that people don't feel like that they're always having to look across the table at somebody that does not mirror what they look like. And then in my time at Namba, we've launched a variety of strategies to help with this, allowing us to grow our awareness of the company, to grow the awareness of our partners, and then of course of the joint mission that includes things like we're doing partner sales enablement outreach programs now.
Yeah.
We're doing to bring more people into the fold that are mission believers. We're marketing outreach through paid search, through social ads. There's a variety of one-on-one tactics that we're going through on a daily basis to make this happen. We continue to see high growth in our social followers, high growth in our database. So there are a lot of people interested in these topics. We've even refreshed the website to help tell our story with more information, more interaction points, more cross links between the pages so that people understand, instead of it going down a particular silo on a page and thinking that's the end of the story, they see how all these things are interrelated that we've not had before on the website. So hopefully people are starting to see that difference. And then we believe that the more partner and members we have involved, the higher the likelihood of those companies' long-term success and ours.
Absolutely. And it's such a valuable mission from everything,
Absolutely.
from whether it's bringing in new talent to diversifying. And to your point, Rodney, I mean, I've learned so much with being part of Namba. Sometimes you're just not aware. You live in your bubble and you think that this is kind of the world that I live in. And it's not intentional that it's like, man, I've never really thought about what it's like for someone that maybe needs someone speaking to them in their particular language, or understanding that they're not comfortable putting money in the bank, that maybe in their culture, maybe it's common. I mean, I can still remember my mother-in-law that's from Portugal putting her money in the freezer. I will never forget the day I saw her go into the freezer and take out a Ziploc bag with cash. And I was like, well, cold hard cash, right? Is that where that expression comes from? And I remember thinking that is so strange, but she was brought up that her parents were afraid of banks and she was taught that way, and that kind of was just passed along. And so when someone in certain cultures or certain settings, or even age bracket, right? I know my kids, they don't want to do business with someone that looks like their mother or father. They want to do business with someone that is of similar age and using technology and texting and whatever way they communicate, whatever it is, we have to have this awareness. And we have to realize that is so important to diversify all of our industry so that we can serve everyone. And so Namba has really opened my eyes and made me realize that, boy, do all of us have to get outside of that little world that we live in to have awareness. It really starts with that. So I'm so happy that you guys are continuing to, expand that reach, right? Just keep getting out there and keep spreading that word. And the mission is just growing. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Now,
Thank
I
you.
also know that in September is your big Nampa Connect that is coming up. So please, tell everyone about Nampa Connect, because this is a perfect time for us to get everyone aware of that and signed up for that wonderful show.
Absolutely. So we have all eyes are on Connect here right now. For us, we are moving full steam ahead. I'd venture to say that upwards of easily 75%, if not greater, of everybody's time here is focused on delivering that huge turnout. So I can't remember our exact numbers last year off the top of my head, but we are shooting for 1,200 plus this year, and
Wow.
we should be on pace to hit that. We have literally doubled our space and everything. So, you know, if you think about it, what other nonprofit trade association can bring that many people together from across the industry for networking, business relationship building, professional development, having fun and with entertainment and more? Other than the NBA, nobody else really comes to the top of my mind. And honestly, they're going to be there too. So that
Yep.
tells you all you need to know there. So yeah, we're very, very excited about it. We've got a great lineup of speakers. I know you're going to be there as well. And oddly enough, I started 3 weeks before Connect last year, and that's where I met you at. You came up to me and grabbed me and said, "Hey, I'm Laura." And I'm like, "All right, I'm Rodney."
Tip to everyone out there: make sure you do that when you go to conferences,
That's
because
right.
that's how you build relationships. That's how you make yourself memorable. So use
That's right.
that tip.
And I will say every interaction that I have had with you has been something else. I mean, your energy, your passion, your knowledge, even just your personality, it just continues to impress me. I really do appreciate the time to have with you today. It's been great. So keep
Well,
on being you.
I don't know how else to be. So thank you for that. But Rodney, congratulations on everything that Namba is doing. I'm so
Thank you.
happy that you haven't been there that long. I mean, that was I guess you started what in August of last year, so you're not even at the 12-month mark. So
Nope.
I know that whenever you come into anything new, it's like you've got this long to-do list and you're checking it off and making progress. So we wish you all the best with that. Thank you for sharing your why with us. And remember, everyone, we all have a unique story. Continue to share your story because you never know who out there needs to hear it. Wishing everyone a wonderful day. All the best.